Your brain is the command center for your entire body, impacting you every single second of the day. It's still a mystery to many in neuroscience, including ourselves, and yet we're finding ways to improve its focus, clarity, and enhance its performance in comprehensive ways. Which is why today you're going to hear my honest review of one of the most popular nootropic stacks in the marketplace, called Qualia. Before we dive in, hit subscribe, click the link to see just how unstoppable you are compared to 50,000 others, and stay tuned for my upcoming book, Mind Control: How to Biohack Your Mind, Weight, and Immune System Through Nutritional Psychology and the Hidden World of Your Gut Microbiome. I discovered nootropics over 3 years ago when I went on my own 90-day journey to discover the tools necessary to ultimately become a peak performer. During that time, I had one burning question in mind. How do we fuel ourselves for success by upgrading our energy to upgrade our life? And that's when nootropics came into play. Nootropics are drugs, supplements, and other substances that enhance cognitive function, memory, creativity, energy, and motivation in healthy individuals. They can be pharmaceutically derived or naturally derived. I decided to give Qualia a go, which is one of the most talked about nootropic stacks in the marketplace. And I gotta admit, I was pretty skeptical at first because as if they'd literally thrown in everything but the kitchen sink. Qualia contains over 40 nutrients, all aimed at enhancing focus, energy, mood, and creativity. It's developed a cult-like following with fans espousing its greatness. But does it stand up to the test? Well, I reached out to the company Neurohacker Collective, the markers of the Qualia brand, and its senior member Daniel Schmadenberger about his approach to the product. And I gotta be honest, I wish I'd taken Qualia before that conversation. Daniel is a highly intellectual man. He's always 10 steps ahead of us mere mortals. I had to decipher some of his points. Why? Because he is so embedded in the scientific process, it can make it hard to keep up. In relation to Qualia, I can't criticize what they've done to actually create it. In fact, I wrote my now best-selling book Unstoppable while on Qualia within less than 4 months. That's an 80,000 word draft that I had to produce. Out of all of the nootropics that I tested during that time, this was the one that I kept coming back to consistently, especially for writing. So how did I test it? Well, it was pretty easy. Each day when I was working on my book Unstoppable, I'd take note of how many words that I'd write in an afternoon. Days I didn't take it, I'd average anywhere from 1,700 to 2,300 words. Days that I did take it, I averaged 5,000 words or more. My biggest day, I hit 7,500 words. Now, I can remember that day specifically because I was working out of a cafe. I lost all sense of time. At one point in the afternoon, about 30 people came in and were doing some kind of business presentation in the back of the room. I didn't even look up. I just stayed focused on the writing process and completing that specific chapter. The best way to describe it is to really get you to think of a particular time in your career when you were 100% focused and completely in the zone. Any distractions didn't even matter. I had complete and utter tunnel vision on the task that I was working on, and I was completely oblivious to my surroundings. So the question is, well, what makes this nootropic stack stand out to others? Because let's face it, there's a lot in the marketplace. It's ultimately because they brought together all of the scientific research in their approach to developing Qualia, and they really had to, due to the impact of each of the 40 different ingredients that one has on another, to ensure that any serious side effects don't occur, which, as Daniel described to me at the time, is a highly complex process. The ingredients do have to work synergistically together to achieve that intended outcome. The original Qualia required you to split up a daily dose of tablets over 2 servings. The new one doesn't require that of you, but I still personally split it up regardless. Even though it has less caffeine in it than a cup of coffee, I still don't want to be overstimulated due to other ingredients combined in the actual product. Now, our response to any nootropic is dependent on a myriad of factors. Each of our biochemistry is as unique as a fingerprint, and it requires personal experimentation to see what ultimately works for you. By splitting up the dose, I take 4 tablets in the morning on an empty stomach, then the final 3 at around 1 p.m. I'm able to avoid any mid-afternoon slump and stay productive and focused throughout the rest of the afternoon. Some nootropics can make you feel wired because there's excessive amounts of caffeine involved, or simply because you metabolize caffeine differently to that of others, which is also why they now have a caffeine-free version for those of us that are sensitive to caffeine. So the biggest question is, what does Qualia actually contain? Because it contains over 40 different nutrients. Well, it contains some of the most popular nootropics in the marketplace, of course, which is including a combination of L-tyrosine and L-theanine, which are phenomenal for cognitive performance. L-theanine has shown to produce alpha brainwaves within 30 minutes of consumption, which is the state of mind that you really want to be in when you're doing deep and meaningful work. L-theanine also works synergistically with caffeine. The caffeine in this product is from coffee berry, which is made from organic coffee fruits, which are often called coffee cherries. These coffee plants produce soft, red fruit surrounding a pit of the hard seed. This has been shown to improve cognitive performance as well as physical performance and mood. There's also American ginseng, which enhances working memory as well as alertness and promotes calmness, and it does support cognitive function, among others like cognizin citicoline. Clinical research has found that cognizin supports the health of the mitochondria, the little powerhouses within cells that actually produce the brain's energy. For newbies who are completely new to what a nootropic is and which one to try, when it comes to neurohacking, you can start with a single nootropic and experiment with that particular nootropic until you know how well you actually respond to it. Ashwagandha, L-tyrosine, L-theanine are my top 3 choices to try as a single ingredient experiment. Ashwagandha can help reduce cortisol by up to 30%, but you do have to be careful because it can drop your blood pressure, hence you may begin feeling dizzy and tired. Make sure you avoid that one if you have low blood pressure in general. One thing that's critically important to mention is that some people take nootropics thinking that it's going to offset other underlying biological conditions to then be quickly disappointed. If a nootropic doesn't work for you and you're still struggling with fatigue and brain fog, there are other factors that are still at play that need to be addressed first. That could be food sensitivities, inflammation, an imbalance in the gut, side effects from other medications, your overall diet. Biohacking isn't just a one and done. You need to take the time to try some single ingredient nootropics to really help build your neural performance and see how you respond to them. I was able to put the knowledge that I gained to be better informed about choosing Qualia as my source of high quality, well-researched stack that's greatly affected my brain performance and my overall focus. For someone who is looking for an overall nootropic stack that has everything in it, give Qualia a go, but just make sure when you start taking it, take maybe 3 tablets the first day that you try it and see how you respond to it. Write down some notes as the day goes on to see how your overall energy and focus and performance is, and then gradually increase the dosage based on simply how you feel. The bottom line, it helped me to write my book Unstoppable that's now sold over 60,000 copies worldwide and helped me to grow my online business significantly. Why? Because I have the focus and the energy to do so. Let's face it, goals are useless if you don't have the energy to actually go out and pursue them. Give it a go and let me know what you think in the comments. And remember, click the link below to see just how unstoppable you are compared to 50,000 others that have taken our 60-second quiz. The results may surprise you. I'll catch you next time. Take care.